And we are live. Hi, everyone and no one. It's totally cool. It is a mausoleum at first because we're trying to find a good time to do these live. I did not announce this. I did not go over on Periscope. But when you come across the rewatch and you feel so inspired, please leave a comment as to what time and what time zone you're in works for you, because this is like it's a community. We can have folks come in here and we can study together. I did not, like I said, I usually go on and announce that I'm going live, but I thought we'd just do it on a Saturday night. So busy, things, no idea. I saw somebody come in and they're gone on a Saturday night so we could get going with these studies. We're going to start Fragment I, actually, yeah, the voice of the silence and the voice of the silence here on the Living Theosophy YouTube channel. So if you are new here, okay, welcome. You're not here by accident. There are recorded book studies. We do the Key to Theosophy. Well, I try to do them once a month. We also had done live Light on the Path book studies, and we have done we're now taking on the voice of the silence. So if you have come across this channel and you like what you see, may I ask that you please, hang on, yes. Click over there. You'll see a little purple picture. Is that the left? Yes, left, right, left. Click the purple picture and click subscribe. You can also share these out if you will. Click the notification little bell so you know when I go live. This is kind of a little secret one, so it's totally fine. But I would like to get it so we have folks in here where we can meet regularly. And we can have, I don't know, instead of having to go to a location, we can meet here. And this is a little circle of like-minded students. So if you do pop in, oh, let me see if you're on there. I have to make, this is kind of the technological drama here. Let me refresh and see if we're live. Stand by. And there I am. Okay, so hang on one second. Let's see if I can get in there and say hello to you. And I think we'll have to hit a delay on this. Stand by, please. Nice set, though. I'm trying to work on the lighting thanks to your help. Come on. It's giving me a circle. Come on. How are you? Where are you? Okay, it's still giving me a circle. It's trying to what we call stall topic, stall for time. Oh, there's my face. Hi there, whoever you are. I can't see who you are. It's giving me a circle and I am frozen. Let me see if, hello. Let me see if this comes up. Hello. Earth to Joe. Joe is here. Hi, Joe. Welcome, Joe. It is a quiet, and I do mean quiet, live book study. You don't have to stay, but it's good to see you and we miss you here. For those of you who are on the Periscope Living Theosophy channel, we do a peek behind the scenes of what we do in our life. Joe, it is only you. It's totally only you. So I don't know how long you'll stick around, but it's not like Periscope over here. But Periscope is a live streaming service, which is, oh, there's a few of you here now. Welcome, welcome. It's a live streaming service, Periscope is, and usually I go on to Periscope to let folks know I'll be live here. The Periscope is absolutely different. It is real life, like a reality show. We show you about the restoration of the house that we're in and about what we do and who we are and all that kind of stuff. But on the Living Theosophy Instagram, Facebook, and here on the YouTube channel, it is solely about Theosophy. What is Theosophy? Theosophy is the ancient wisdom, the ancient knowledge, divine science. It is archaic wisdom that belongs to all and solely to none. And what we're going to do is in the links below, as soon as I get a chance to, I'll put the links below where you can get a free copy of this book, a free copy of the downloadable PDF book. It's extremely affordable on Amazon. I've also voiced it for free. You can hear on the Living Theosophy YouTube channel. You can hear the audiobook if you wish. And also, hang on. If you want to support the channel and all the work that goes into Living Theosophy, you're welcome to follow the link down below. And the audiobooks are priced at a much lower cost than they are on the global retail outlets. So you can support the channel here because all that is received here, the super chats that are received in these live broadcasts, my thing is still stalled over here. The super chats, any of the support that you give, it all goes back into keeping these teachings available for the entire world, to share them out. These archaic wisdoms belong to everyone. So it's important that we plant these seeds now, because I don't know when you're going to come across this video. The year currently is 2020 and it is February. And I don't give my name on this channel because my name is not important. What is important is that you are here and that you apply these teachings in your daily life. And that is where the learning takes place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the text to you. Some people have said that I read too fast. It is a lot to take in, and it isn't a journey of the intellect, okay? So you're not listening and learning with your intellect. You are learning and listening with your heart. And it actually takes place when you apply these in practical daily use, no matter what you're dealing with, computer drama, or money drama, relationship drama, the news, all that stuff. You too, honey. I love you. Oh, bye, Joe. Thank you for staying. It's so sweet. Yeah, Joe's one of our dear friends, and also he's been on site. He actually put up that architrave back there. So thank you, Joe. Earth to Joe. And the reason it's called Earth to Joe is because he is he's like 6'6". Anyway, okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to read you the text, and then you can either read along, you can re-listen, but remember, it's at your own pace. Sometimes I go in whenever I'm listening to something on YouTube, you can click the gear icon and then select the speed you want to listen back to, and that will slow it down. You can listen at 75% or 50%. I do that sometimes as well. So, okay, so we're going to begin Fragment 1. Remember, hast thou attuned thy being to humanity's great pain, O candidate for light? Do you understand what that means? Do you feel that? I feel that as an empath. I feel that cry. I feel that crushing compassion. And that is what led to the teachings of Theosophy for me. And the application of them in my life has changed my life in such extraordinary ways that not to share them would be extremely irresponsible. There is nothing more important to do. I have also teamed up with the Theosophical Society out of London, the headquarters. I will be speaking there next month, which will be February 2020, on the 22nd, actually. And we will be talking about the near-death experiences. And folks that have near-death experiences, they come back with all of this wisdom. All of this wisdom is in here. It's in the teachings of Theosophy. It goes all the way back to the beginning of time. Pythagoras, Plato, the Jewish mysticism, Martin Luther King, Manly P. Hall, they all had it. They're all talking about the same thing. So if you would like to learn, let's begin. Here we go. These instructions, now I don't have really quick my teleprompter, so I will have to look down and then address the camera. I apologize because it's live. Okay, here we go. These instructions are for those ignorant of the dangers of the lower iti. That's I-D-D-H-I. The Pali word iti is the synonym of the Sanskrit siddhis, or psychic faculties, the abnormal powers in man. Okay, the abnormal powers in man. There are two kinds of siddhis. One group which embraces the lower, coarse, psychic, and mental energies. And the other one is which exacts the highest training of spiritual powers. Okay? Siddhis, spiritual powers. Says Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavat, he who is engaged in the performance of yoga. Now, I want to stop here and say yoga is a word that means to unite, to union. When you see the postures and the exercises, that is an ancient form of discipline and study to unite the lower self with the higher self. So a yogi isn't just Gwyneth Paltrow. Anyway, so says Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavat, he who is engaged in the performance of yoga, who has subdued his senses, and who has concentrated his mind in me, which is Krishna, such yogis, all the siddhis stand ready to serve. Okay, so let's repeat that again. He who is engaged in the performance of yoga, who has subdued his senses, and who has concentrated his mind in me, Krishna, the higher self, such yogis, all the siddhis, S-I-D-D-H-I-S, stand ready to serve. And the siddhis mean spiritual powers. Okay, so I'm going to read this text as it says. Now, there are a lot of Sanskrit and Hindu words in here that I will come back with those definitions. So we're going to read it as it is, then I'll come back with the definitions. Here we go. He who would hear the voice of nada, he who would hear the voice of nada, the soundless sound, and comprehend it, he has to learn the nature of tarana. Having become indifferent to objects of perception, the pupil must seek out the Raja, the king of the senses, the thought producer. he who awakes illusion. Okay, so let's go back. There's a couple words in there I want to explain. Okay, he who would hear the voice of nada. Now, nada, the soundless voice, or the voice of the silence. Okay, the voice of the silence. Literally, perhaps this would read voice in the spiritual sound. Voice in the spiritual sound, as nada, N-A-D-A, is the equivalent word in Sanskrit for the censar term. Now, censar is the mystic name for the secret sacerdotal, which means priestly, language of the mystery speech. Okay, this is the mystery speech of the initiated adepts. So I see a couple of you are popping in. You're welcome to comment. I definitely want to make this a circle of study and not just me talking at you. However, I did not promote when I was going on, nor did I go onto Periscope to say I was coming on. So it's going to be a quiet group. But the rewatchers, listen, we do this. I'm going to try to do one a month. And I'd love to have as many of you here as possible. I'd like to reach the American and the English audience. So let me know what time goes best for you. So, okay. He who would hear the voice of nada, the soundless sound, and comprehend it, has to learn the nature of tarana. Okay? What is tarana? It is the intense and perfect concentration of the mind upon some interior object, one interior object, accompanied by the complete abstraction from anything pertaining to the external universe or the world of the senses. In other words, going inside and being able to cut off the world of the five senses: smell, taste, touch, sound, and sight. Did I get them all? Sometimes I get them wrong. So, and comprehend it, he has to learn the nature of tarana. Having become indifferent to objects of perception, the pupil must seek out the Raja, the king of the senses. Who is it that is thinking your thoughts? Who is thinking your thoughts? Who is it that is operating this particular body right now? Where is that? Is that located in my physical mind, in my brain? Okay, so who is the thought producer? He who awakes illusion. Okay, now here, this is a very important part. So I'm going to read this without my interpretation because it is not me. I'm simply a fellow student, a dedicated student. Hello to our new folks coming in. Feel free to comment if you wish. The mind is the great slayer of the real. Let the disciple slay the slayer. I'm going to repeat that again. The mind is the great slayer of the real. Let the disciple slay the slayer. For when to himself his form appears unreal, as do on waking all the forms he sees in his dreams, when he has ceased to hear the many, he has to discern the one, the inner sound, which kills the outer. Now, it is written in paradox. It's similar to Light on the Path in that way, in some ways. This is a more substantial text, though. Then only, and not until then, shall he forsake the region of asat, okay, the false, to come into the realm of sat, the true. Before the soul can see, the harmony within must be attained, and fleshly eyes be rendered blind to all illusion. Okay? You've heard that this world is an illusion. If you're looking to find out the answers to all of these questions, if you wonder where the New Age movement has been plucked from, it's in these ancient teachings. This is ancient science, ancient philosophy, ancient spirituality. It is all explained in these texts that are now available to all. You don't even have to go to the library. You can just turn on YouTube. So I'm glad that some of you are here. If you're enjoying what you see, please share it. Click the subscribe button so you can be notified when we go live, and we'll have bigger groups. Share these teachings, but most importantly, study them and apply them for yourself. Before the soul can hear, the image, man, has to become as deaf to roarings as to whispers, to cries of bellowing elephants as to the silvery buzzing of the golden firefly. The ear has to become deaf. Before the soul can comprehend and may remember, she must also, unto the silent speaker, be united, just as the form to which the clay is modified is first united with the mind of the potter. So, in other words, before Eddie made this pot, he had it envisioned in his mind, right? Okay, so Play to the potter. Shout out to Eddie Doughton in Glastonbury. You're welcome to comment if you like. If you don't want to, you don't have to. On the rewatchers, you can't comment on those, but you certainly can leave a comment, and I will try to respond to everyone. There is a link to the copy of this text below that you can download this for free. And there is the entire text is read here for free on this channel as well. So, for then the soul will hear and will remember, and then to the inner ear, the other senses, the higher senses, to the inner ear will speak the voice of the silence. Okay, and the voice of the silence will say, if thy soul smiles while bathing in the sunlight of thy life, if thy soul sings within her chrysalis of flesh and matter, if thy soul weeps inside her castle of illusion, and if thy soul struggles to break the silver thread, you've heard of this silver thread, that binds her to the master, know, O disciple, that thy soul is of the earth. Now let me explain here. I'm going to read this again because it's important. Okay. Before the soul can comprehend and may remember, she must unto the silent speaker be united, just as the form in which the clay is modeled is first united with that of the potter's mind. For then the soul will hear and will remember, and then to the inner ear will speak the voice of the silence, and it will say, if thy soul smiles while bathing in the sunlight of thy life, and if thy soul sings within her chrysalis of flesh and matter, and if thy soul weeps inside her castle of illusion, if thy soul struggles to break the silver thread that binds her to the master, and the master is described here before you freak out, the master is the great master. It is a term used by Lanus or chelas or disciples or those who are studying, those on the path, to indicate one's higher self, the divine spark within, okay? We're all pieces of this gigantic flame. We're sparks of that flame, okay? We're all one. All right, so it is the equivalent of Avalokiteshvara, the name Avalokiteshvara, and is also the same as Adi Buddha. With the Buddhists, and the Buddhist occultists, it is the Atman, the self, the higher self. With the Brahmins and Christos, that's where we get Christ, the Christos with the ancient Gnostics. So that's what the master means. The master is not a guru on YouTube. It isn't one individual who has lived on this planet. This is your higher self, which is connected with the all, the absolute. Okay, when to the world's turmoil, thy budding soul, I'm reading it again here without the descriptions. We'll go back and read it with the glossary terms. Here we go. When to the soul's turmoil, thy budding soul lends ear. When to the roaring voice of the great illusion, thy soul responds. When frightened at the sight of the hot tears of pain, when deafened by the cries of darkness, thy soul withdraws like the shy turtle within the carapace of selfhood. Learn, O disciple, of her silent God, and it's in quotes here, that thy soul is an unworthy shrine. Now this may sound like a strange metaphysical poem, and if it does, that's okay. Just keep listening. Okay, we're going to come back and explain the two souls that are mentioned here. In this text, there are glossaries at the end that explain to you the words, so you can actually cross-reference. But I'm sticking them in here so we can go along with the terms as we read them. So, when to the world's turmoil, thy budding soul, and here the soul means, this is the term for the human ego or the human mind, the manas. That which is referred to in our occult septenary meaning 7, the division of the human soul. Please see the secret doctrine. The secret doctrine, okay, just see the secret doctrine. Cosmogenesis, anthropogenesis, and so much more. Okay, anyway, we're live. I can't pick them up. Okay, so soul here, when the world's turmoil, thy budding soul, meaning the human ego or manas, okay, in contradistinction to the spiritual and animal souls. Lends ear, when the roaring voice of the great illusion, thy soul, capitalized, responds, and that soul means the Mahamaya, the great illusion, the objective universe. So we have subjective, objective. So in this particular soul, it says, when to the roaring voice of the great illusion thy soul responds, that soul means Maha Maya, the great illusion, the objective universe. Okay? When frightened at the sight of the hot tears of pain, when deafened by the cries of distress, thy soul withdraws like the shy turtle within the carapace, and that means hard shell, of selfhood. Learn, O disciple, that's talking to all of us, of her silent God, that thy soul is an unworthy shrine. When waxing stronger, waxing and waning of the moon, when getting stronger, when going forward, when waxing stronger, thy soul glides forth from her secure retreat, and breaking loose from the protecting shrine, extends her silver thread, still attached, and rushes onward, when beholding her image on the waves of space, she whispers, this is I. Declare, O disciple, that thy soul is caught in the web of delusion. Even when you go out and you're looking around and you say, this must be me. Here, they're talking about the sakayati. I'm saying that right. Yeah, the sakayati, the delusion is personality. So it's difficult to get out of the space that you are Mr. Brown or Mrs. Smith or Mrs. Kardashian or whatever you want to be. That earthly personality is very powerful. So we're going to read this again, okay? When waxing stronger, thy soul glides forth from her secure retreat, and breaking loose from the protecting shrine, extends her silver thread and rushes onward. When beholding her image on the waves of space, she whispers, this is I. Declare, O disciple, that thy soul is caught in the web of delusion. And that is the sakayati, the delusion of personality, individuality. This earth, disciple, this is important, okay? This earth is the hall of sorrow. This earth is the hall of sorrow, wherein are set along the path of dire probations, traps to ensnare thy ego by the delusion called the great heresy. I'm going to say that again. This earth, disciple, is the hall of sorrow, wherein are set along the path of dire probations, traps to ensnare thy ego by the delusion called great heresy. Now, that is the Attavada, the heresy of the belief in soul, or rather in the separateness of soul or self from the one universal self, infinite self. Okay, so basically the great heresy is believing that you're separate from the absolute, because we are not separate from each other or everything. We are all one. Everything is one. You hear that, but how do you process that? Do I even have my bumper sticker around? I don't. Where is it? Here it is. Hang on. It's a small crowd tonight. Say, we always see this, all are one. What does that mean? This just shows the earth, one globe in one solar system in an ever-expanding universe of multiverses. Okay, what does that mean? It means that the heresy, the true heresy, is belief that your soul is separate from the one universal infinite self or soul. Okay, and here we're going to close on this. This is pretty powerful. So thank you for my one viewer for sticking around for this live. Oh, there's two of you here now. Welcome. For the rewatchers, listen, you can get, I'm going to finish this, and you can get a copy of this book. You can get a downloadable PDF, and you can also check out the audiobook that's on this channel as well. It's read to you without my interjections. But this is a live book study that I hope to be able to set up where we can meet regularly and have a group. But I'm trying on a Saturday night. Just thought I'd see what's going on for the UK and the US. This earth, O ignorant disciple, is but the dismal entrance leading to the twilight that precedes the valley of true light, that light which no wind can extinguish, and that light which burns without a wick or fuel. So I'm going to say that again, okay? This earth, O ignorant disciple, and that includes me, is but the dismal entrance leading to the twilight. Twilight, just barely. Twilight, it's coming. That precedes the valley of true light. All right? That leads to the valley of true light, the light which no wind can extinguish, and the light which burns without a wick or fuel. And so there we have it. That is the Voice of the Silence live book study. Small audience, but what time works best for you? Should I do it on the weekends? Should I do it Friday afternoons? I'm not sure. But this book, this tiny little book, it's not as tiny as Light on the Path. It's a little bit bigger. You have, and I'm still obviously, hang on, I'm still swirling around. Why is that? Is it because I moved from room? Okay, now I'm typing. All right, sorry. Anyway, you can get a copy of this book in the link down below. It'll take you to a shop where you can download the free ebook. There's also audiobooks that I have produced. I've actually published an audiobook of this. It is available on all the audiobook outlets, but if you want to get it for a lower cost, and those support packages are available in the links that'll take you to the Living Theosophy website. And you can get them in 1, 2, or 3 packages, and all monies go back here to the Living Theosophy channel. They pay for the lights, they pay for the bandwidth. Your monies help pay for the backlights, so I'm not so flat. So you pay for the publishing, you pay for the store, costs like 20 quid a month to keep that alive so I can give away free books. So it does cost to operate. So your support means a lot. But it doesn't matter. These should always be available for free. So I do make them free because I believe that through the application and through the daily practice of these teachings and in the understanding of this archaic knowledge, this archaic science, this archaic philosophy, this archaic spirituality, that mankind can rise above, that the darkness can become light, that by being light yourself, by becoming compassion, unconditional love, by becoming understanding, by becoming empathy, you make a difference. You can change yourself. You can change anybody else. You can change yourself by becoming these teachings. Peace on earth can be achieved. And the year now that I'm recording this is 2020. Whatever year you come across this video, grab yourself a copy of The Voice of the Silence. Find it, live it, and revisit it. Because when you revisit it, new things will emerge. The more you apply these teachings, the more they become clear, and it is almost a completely different text. I find that completely baffling, but I also find it extremely inspiring. So there are recorded book studies of the Key to Theosophy here. And I do these on this channel. I try to do these once a month. And if you wish, while this is up, in the month of January, what is today, the 20-something, the 24th of January, 2020? Yeah. If you'd like a free copy of The Key to Theosophy, the Theosophical Society out of London has offered a few copies of paperbacks that they can mail out to members in the United Kingdom. So drop me a line. I'll attach a link where you can send an email and request your copy. Thank you for being here for this very quiet live. But remember, it's going to go up. It'll be saved. And welcome to the rewatchers. You're always welcome here. And for your comments, I always try to respond to the comments. If I miss you, comment again. Just come in and say hey, because we're still small enough. We're about 4,000, what is it? 4,080 subscribers as of this moment, and that's okay. And also on the other social media outlets, because that's where the world is. They're not in libraries anymore. They're not just meeting in buildings. They're on their phones. And that's where I'm coming. I'm going on your phone so you can access and hear these teachings, and you can download them for free. That's what I'm doing here. So I'm on Living Theosophy on Facebook, and we have that on YouTube, Instagram. Twitter will feed some of the Periscope Living Theosophy, which is a real peek into our lives because I am a human being. I'm a former radio and television broadcaster, and it kind of goes behind the scenes in what we're doing when we're not doing Living Theosophy. But until then, thank you for being here, and know how much you matter and that you are loved. And I will see you soon. I love you. Okay, now how do I turn this off? I always forget. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. If you like it, share it, subscribe. Okay, click the bell. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.